So I keep talking about the breaking of the cycle and what else we can do. Well, something we can do is become very aware of our patterns of control. Specifically, I'm talking about these patterns of control that are not immediately obvious. Here's an example: the pattern of control through helping and generosity. It initially appears that the person is being incredibly helpful, but upon deeper investigation, we realize that there is a need for the control and perhaps some guilting. And perhaps so they'll be generous and then you'll say no and they'll be angry at you because you won't let them help them. Or they will offer the help and you will take the help and then somehow you maybe don't give back in the same way, and there'll be some guilting or some shaming that you didn't do it like they did it. So it's not a free and a clear giving, it's a pattern of control through the giving. And I see this in marriages, I see this in parents and adult kids, I see this in parents and not so adult kids. Even though I don't work with kids, I work with the family dynamic. I see this in friendships. I see this in employer-employee and employee to employee. I see this as a human thing that we as humans engage in, but we're doing it largely unconsciously. And then we're getting hurt because someone is saying, back off, stop helping, or they're not even doing that, they're ghosting. And you're like, what did I do? All I did was try and help them. Or the other piece about helping that's interesting is that some people will feel less than when you help them. So you'll do a good deed, you'll assist because some assistance was asked of you. You'll do that, and then suddenly the friendship or the relationship changes because the person who received the helping felt all of a sudden relegated to the position of less status, less power, smaller than the person that they allowed to help them. Really important to analyze the patterns of giving. Also, are you an overgiver? Are you giving so much because for some subconscious reason you no longer want to deal with your own problems? Or, more darkly, their effed upness gives you a purpose and you don't actually know this about yourself, but it is something to investigate. What's the greater motivation to all the giving? Check out the pattern of giving, either the receiving or the giver, and see whether or not there's a control aspect in there, because the only way to give is to give without an agenda.